I have watched Once Upon a Time in the West 3 times, and soon that number will change. The film is hypnotic with its writing, the performance within each characters is flawless, the dialogue used in each scene is flavorful, and Ennio Morricone's piece, orchestrated with bittersweet dread, have run my head for almost a week. A wise critic once said,
It is the ultimate Western.
I cannot find any Western that tops this. It was a grave mistake to watch this before making a Western film marathon. There are exceptions, but I couldn't properly enjoy Butch Cassidy and Sun and Skin, even if the film is still great. I couldn't enjoy The Wild Bunch, even with its balance with drama and heightened bloody action. I couldn't enjoy most Western movies that include John Wayne or is directed by John Ford. This video isn't a review of Once Upon a Time in the West, nor is it to say that Italian Western is better than Westerns made by Americans. I couldn't find any Western film that entertained me anymore. I must remove this curse, what this film has brought upon me. I seek help. The movies that can make me feel anything remotely engaging are animated films because they cannot be compared to Harmonica's death, the stakes that Frank is putting himself into becoming more than just a man, Morton finding a method to find peace with his bewildering fate, Jill's diplomacy and attempts into maintaining self-control. Animated films are different from what Sergio Leone have crafted because a movie about a rat cooking food is impossible to compare on a tale about grief and vengeance. You could say that Red Dead Redemption 2 have made a great impact on my feelings to Western storytelling, but I digress. It is Eastwood's fault, hence the movie Unforgiven has made me wish that Westerns are never about the good guys saving the day from a bunch of lowlives, in spite of the pity upon unfortunate souls, but the tragic slice of life within the Wild West. The countless murders that becomes almost normal to them, the fact that violence becomes something that they most probably only know, and how dirty things look and feel while plenty of people continue to their very lives. It made me search for a movie that deconstructs the genre while being a really good Western. But was it Unforgiven's depiction of the West that ruined it for me? Was it Harmonica's tale of violence that causes it? No. It was the execution. The amount of detail and thought put upon the score, the dialogue, the action, the suspense, the drama, the storytelling mostly depict upon the close-ups of the character accompanied with Morricone's orchestra. You can see the character's perspective by listening to the score that Morricone has orchestrated, such as this scene where the camera is behind Harmonica letting you know that Harmonica is focusing on Frank, the antagonist, but the eerie music flashing showcases Frank's feelings within the situation. Fear. Frank felt intimidated with Harmonica's ominous yet mysterious demeanor, as what was also previously depicted within his last encounter with Harmonica.
Dave Jenkins.
The three gunmen in the beginning are positioned away from each other to make their target have a harder time killing them one by one, but once they regroup, it sealed their fate to the man with a harmonica. Cheyenne turned Jill as the fire represents him while the wooden house represents Jill, which juxtaposed with Jill attempting to kill Cheyenne, which can be her mistake considering how dangerous of an outlaw Cheyenne is. Harmonica repeating the names of Frank's former colleagues, highly implying he killed those men, which strike fear in the eyes of Frank for intimidation.
Calder Benson.
What's your name? Benson's dead too.
In most action movies, they just made action scenes to not even bring forward the story, and solely for an eye-candy experience. Meanwhile, Sergio composed the shootouts into discussing the strengths and weaknesses of each gunman. Harmonica is a gunslinger that utilizes intimidation to his advantage, hence the badass one-liners.
You bring a horse for me?
Looks like we're shy of one horse.
You brought too many.
Cheyenne utilizes his environment to fight dirty considering he's a dangerous bandit that utilizes every dirty trick in the book to survive. And Frank, who is the fastest gun in Sweetwater, until fear strikes in his heart by a man playing a harmonica, ultimately affecting his skill. Because of its depiction of its characters, I couldn't find another Western at least as entertaining or profound as the way it depicts its story, world, and characters as Once Upon a Time in the West, because it seems to be impossible to be above or on par with the magnum opus that influenced directors into making films. So yeah, feel free to comment a Western to break the curse since I couldn't stop watching a bunch of cowboys attempting to kill each other. I made a grave mistake.